Hey guys, this is David Wunderlich, and in this video I'm going to go over how Florida's offensive line did against Colorado State. It was very evident from this game that the line is still figuring things out. So I'm going to start by highlighting how Florida did against a cornerback blitz. If you remember at halftime, Dan Mullen said that Colorado State showed some new things. This is not one of those new things. They did a cornerback blitz against Arkansas, so this is not anything that is brand new. This play is a standard read option of the far side defensive end. This guy's going to go unblocked, and Felipe Franks is going to read what he's doing to decide whether he's going to keep it or hand it off. There may be a little bit of a RPO here because Tyree Cleveland is going to come back like he's going to take a screen, but there are 4 defenders up here, only 3 receivers here. So if Franks actually has the option to throw it, and it's not just a fake to keep those defenders over there, he doesn't want to throw it because the numbers are not in his favor. Let's just go ahead and take a look at what happens. Takes the snap, puts the ball out, and the defensive end is hanging back in case the quarterback keeps it going this way. So he's going to hand it off, and the running back is going to come this way. That's exactly the correct read for Felipe Franks. So Felipe Franks does everything right on this play as far as he goes. But you can see here's the corner. He's coming up this way. And as we go forward, you can see there's absolutely nobody blocking the corner on the blitz. And so Malik Davis goes down after only a very short gain. The offensive line actually did a very good job up front. They're sealing off this edge right here. Nobody is able to get through, and so this should be a good run to the outside, except Colorado State blitz the corner. There is nobody over there blocking the corner, and the corner makes the play. So that's what happened the first time Colorado State blitzed the corner. There was nobody accounting for him, and so now Florida needs to adjust. They need to come up with something new to do. This play is the second time that Colorado State blitzes the corner. This guy starts off back, but he's going to come up, and then he's going to blitz after the play begins. Morale Stevens is the H-back tight end over here. He is not taking the corner blitz because his job is to come up and block this linebacker. Stevens has nothing to do with this. This is all going to be on the offensive line. The way this is supposed to work is that Nick Buchanan, the center, is going to block this defensive tackle, and Fred Johnson is going to help the block in front of him at first, and Juwan Taylor, the right tackle, takes the defensive end. So let's run it forward a little bit, get the cornerback up, and so what's going to need to happen is Buchanan take the defensive tackle, Johnson takes the defensive end, and Taylor is going to slide out to take the blitzing corner. As we go forward, there Taylor passes the defensive end off. He's going to take the blitzing corner, who runs himself out of the play, but neither Buchanan nor Johnson is able to get those blocks. The defensive tackle is coming straight through, defensive end is coming straight through, and so now Felipe Franks needs to get rid of it, and he does. He just throws it out of bounds too high. So Florida put in something to account for the corner blitz with Juwan Taylor sliding out to take the blitzer, but both the center and right guard get beat, and Franks just has to get rid of it. So here's the last corner blitz I want to show you. This play is going to be a play action pass. Franks is going to fake the handoff to Scarlett, who's going to come this way, and he's going to look first out at Van Jefferson, who's just going to kind of come up and do a quick little curl. The way the blocking on this works is that Tyler Jordan is going to come out, and he is going to end up blocking the very outside of the line. At first, he's going to be hugging pretty close to the right tackle, Juwan Taylor, because he's worried about a linebacker coming off the edge. But Colorado State is going to blitz this corner. He's going to come in, and so Jordan is going to need to be able to see that and give up on linebackers and get the guy who is completely coming off the edge unblocked. If we run the play forward, though, that's not what happens. He notices the blitz late, the cornerback gets around him, and Colorado State gets the only sack of the game. So Florida did not do very well with corner blitzes in this game. They did not account for a corner blitz the very first time it happened. Then they put in an adjustment, but the offensive line blew their blocks as a part of that adjustment. And then here, Tyler Jordan coming around, he doesn't notice the blitz until it's too late. Now, I'm going to go over a couple more plays. The right side of the offensive line had a very difficult game, and the next few plays kind of show that. So we're rewinding to the first quarter here. This is nothing particularly fancy. It is a zone read kind of play. This defensive end on the near side is going unblocked. And so Felipe Franks is going to read this guy to decide whether he's going to keep it or give it. And the defensive end is going to come in and crash really hard to the inside down here. Franks is going to make the correct decision to keep the ball and run out this way. The problem on this play comes from the right guard Fred Johnson and the right tackle Juwan Taylor. They are both going to kind of take a shot at this defensive tackle and then try to get to the second level to block, but because both of them do that, that means no one ends up actually blocking the defensive tackle. And so if we go forward, defensive end crashes hard to the inside, Franks keeps it, that is the correct play, except now this defensive tackle, who neither Johnson nor Taylor bothered to block, is free, and Felipe Franks is not that fast, not that elusive, and he gets tackled for a loss. Back it up to the start, here's what it looks like in real time. It should come as no surprise that when someone is supposed to block the defensive tackle but no one does, that defensive tackle makes the play. We move ahead a little bit into the second quarter. Josh Hammond is going to come in motion, faking a jet sweep. Felipe Franks is going to drop back, and he's going to offer the ball very dramatically to his right, and Jordan Scarlett is going to take the handoff on the quarterback's right side, but the play is supposed to come to the left. This is a counter. It's the sort of thing that Dan Mullen does all the time in his offense. In this one, this safety is going to end up blitzing, and he's going to come around and end up being unblocked because there's no one in the formation that has him, but that's okay because Scarlett is able to avoid him. And some of the blocking on this is quite good. Kamori Gamble, the H-back tight end right here, he's going to take on this defensive end, and he's going to get a pancake block. I know a lot of Florida fans have been wondering where the pancake blocks are. Well, here's one of them. We'll start the play going forward. There goes the jet sweep. Safety comes up showing blitz. And look at Gamble right here real quick. Go this forward, and he puts the defensive end on the ground. Great block by him. The problem here is that Fred Johnson is going to initially help, and then he's going to go to the second level. And given the alignment of the defense right here, he is probably thinking he needs to get this linebacker because that's the linebacker on his side. However, because of the jet sweep motion and the safety blitzing, both linebackers are going to rotate to the offense's right. And so this linebacker that Johnson is going to be going for goes around the end, and that leaves this linebacker also going to the right. He's going to end up unblocked through the middle. So let's go forward and just watch this linebacker right here. He rotates over, he shoots through with no one there. No one is blocking him. The only person who could have is Fred Johnson, but his back is turned, and so he's the one that goes through and stops Jordan Scarlett for no gain. Scarlett did a good job avoiding the blitzing safety, but a linebacker got through completely untouched, and down goes Scarlett. Finally, we have one more play. Once again, this is nothing particularly special. This is a zone read. This defensive end is going to go unblocked. Felipe Franks has to read him and decide whether to give it or keep it. The defensive end on this side is actually going to stay back. He's not going to crash in like we saw a couple plays ago, and so Franks does the correct thing and gives the ball to the running back. So if we just take a look at the beginning of the play, the defensive end stays back. Felipe Franks gives to Malik Davis. This is correct. He did the correct thing. Now let's back it up and see what the offensive line is doing. The problem, once again, is on the right side. Juwan Taylor and Fred Johnson are going to double team this guy, and then Johnson is supposed to release to the second level to block somebody up there. That's how it starts. As we see there, Johnson holds himself up though. He's got his arm right here around the defensive end, and because he stays an extra moment doing that, he is too late getting to the second level. He needs to be up here, blocking this guy right now, but he has delayed himself and he doesn't get there in time. Davis, he's got this big hole open up by the tight end here and the right tackle Taylor. This should be a nice big hole for him to run through, but Johnson is late to this block, and when Malik Davis goes for that hole that he sees opening, he ends up with a linebacker there, and he's only able to get just a few yards. All of these issues that we're seeing here, these are execution issues. Colorado State doesn't have a particularly physical defensive front, and you didn't see Gator players getting pushed around like you did against Kentucky. Colorado State did not get guys off balance. They weren't pushing people around. This is all execution problems. The only thing that's going to fix this is more time in practice and potentially subbing in new guys who might be able to execute the scheme better. But this is where Florida is right now. They are 3 weeks into a new scheme, and they are unable to consistently execute that scheme with the offensive line.